Welcome back to KPOP.com. I'm Tay, and today I'm going to be making a prediction of the final 7 for the iland debut. So, if you don't know, there is a show going on right now put on by like Big Hit and stuff called Island, where it's, like one of those survival show things where like a certain amount of people like stay and then they make a group and then like they debut and stuff. I don't know. This is actually my first time watching a show like this. I don't normally watch like Produce 101 or any of those other shows. And so I've been really invested in this and it's been really interesting to watch so far. And as we are in the midst of Island Part 2 and the debut is upon us, I thought I would make a prediction for who I think is going to debut in the final 7. Now, I think that all of the trainees that are there are very talented, very hardworking. This is not to talk shit on any of them, really. This is just like what I think. I don't know. So if you're watching Island and you feel disrespected by something I'm saying, that's on you because it's really not my intention to do that. So yeah, and also if you disagree with this, that's completely okay. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to be in the final 7, but do it respectfully, This is a safe space. Let's keep it that way. So a lot of these people I actually really like all of the trainees. I told myself I had to like all of them and I couldn't dislike anyone because I don't know who's gonna debut and I don't want a group to debut where I don't like a member. So I made myself try to form a connection with everyone. And so a lot of these people I have more of a connection with others, but I tried to approach this as reasonably as I could because I just didn't want to go based off of like, oh, I love this person, so I'm gonna like predict them because I do want to be right at the end of the day. So yeah, let's just get into it. Number 1, Heesung. Obviously, Heesung is going to debut. Like, if you do not think he is, I just think that's ridiculous. Well, actually, no. I have to say, like, the global voting makes me very nervous because I feel like so many people vote based off of like their favorites and don't put like talent into consideration. But I think Heesung is a very likable young man. He has done very well. He has shown nothing but strong consistency and still has that improvement factor going for him. So if he doesn't debut, I'm going to be very angry because he really, really deserves it. All right, number 2 is K. Now, K is a little bit under fire right now because he is showing a little bit more of a stern side. People may have different opinions on this. I personally don't think he is a mean person. I really don't. I think that the way that he was acting, especially with Nikki in like, I don't know when this video is going to be uploaded, but the last episode that I watched where they were doing the BTS test, the way that Kay was acting towards Nikki, a lot of people saw it as rude and like mean and stuff. I thought that he was like acting appropriately. Like maybe he could have been a little bit more soft, but I don't know. Like I didn't really see anything wrong with it. I will admit it wasn't a good decision for him because obviously the global voting is upon us. And if you're not liked by the public, you could very well leave. But I really hope he doesn't because at the end of the day, he is a very, very strong trainee. I think he would fit the Big Hit like standard of an idol because if you just look at like all the artists that Big Hit have, there's like they're just, I don't know, they're a certain breed. And I just think Kay would fit in very well. I really want to see him in a final 7. So yes, I am predicting him. Number 3, Jungwon. Now, initially, I didn't really like him that much. I was like, I don't really see like what the big deal is of this kid. I don't know why he's such a big favorite with a lot of people. But the more I look at him, the more I'm like, wow, I think he is like a perfect archetype for an idol. He's got such a charming voice. Like it's every time he sings, I'm just like, oh, you're so adorable. Like literally, I really feel like he is going to make it into the final 7 because I feel like he's a big favorite with the producers as well as the public. So That is my number 3. Number 4, Sonu. Now, I loved Sonu instantly. Like, he's just got that really happy aura about him. And I just, oh my gosh, I love him. He's just so happy all the time. But what really impressed me was in the BTS test, his facial expressions were so like so good. I wasn't expecting that for him at all. He performed Fake Love, and I was like, this kid is so happy. Like, how on earth is he going to portray like the emotions that Fake Love has? And he did it so perfectly. Like, I didn't even recognize him. That's how into it he was. And that just made me even more impressed with him and made me think even more he is going to be in the final 7, because I feel like people already really, really love him. I literally saw an account on Stan Twitter called like Sonu Protection Squad. And I was like, wow, this kid's gonna debut. Like, he has to. I think he's really talented, and now we know that he's versatile, so that's always really good. Next, number 5, Sunghoon. I think our little ice skater is going to debut. I feel like he has improved immensely from the beginning, mostly because at first I didn't really pay attention to him that much, but now he's really, really catching my eye. So I'm pretty like excited to see what more he has to offer in the upcoming episodes, and I really hope that the public sees as well his potential. So I really hope that he makes it to the final 7, and yeah, that's that on that. All right, for number 6 and 7, I had a pretty hard time figuring out who I wanted, and I'm actually torn between a few people. Oh, by the way, I'm saying number 1, 2, 3, etc., but I'm really not ranking these people and like who I think is the best versus like number 7 being the least best. I'm just like I'm just numbering it. They're yeah, so I'm not ranking like I think they're all like talented, and I could see them all being equally like talented in a final 7 lineup. So don't take that to heart like the way I'm numbering it. It's just how it happened. Okay. Anyway, for number 6, I have Jake. I feel like Jake is a bit of a risk that I'm taking by putting him in my final lineup prediction, because he's been kind of flying under the radar a little bit all this time, but I really feel like he might make it, because like Sunghoon, I also wasn't paying that much attention to him. But then out of nowhere, he just really sparked my attention. And he was in the I Need You group, which unfortunately they were number 3 in the BTS test, which sucked, but I thought Jake did fantastic. Like, they all were struggling with their facial expressions and trying to portray the right emotion for I Need You, but I think he did it perfectly. I couldn't take my eyes off of him the whole time, and I think that'll play out really well for him. I hope he gets more screen time because, like I keep mentioning, since the global voting is happening, I feel like the people that don't get as much screen time will have a harder time getting the votes because, you know, the public doesn't know who they are. So I really hope that people vote for him, because I could see him being in the final 7. And finally, for the last slot I'm actually torn between Jay and Daniel. I really, really like Jay a lot. I think he is very, very hardworking. He is a risk taker, and I just feel like he would be a great asset to a group. My sister Millie, the other person that runs this channel, feels that she sees him more as a like JYP idol as opposed to a big hit idol. And initially I was like, oh yeah, I can see that. But I think I kind of disagree now. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I could see it going both ways. I think I just really like him, and my own bias is like coming into this, and I want him to be in the final 7. I feel like he very well could be, because he gets a lot of screen time. I feel like he's really likable, so we never know. He probably will. But I'm also torn between Daniel. Now, Daniel literally is, he's a kid. Like, he's doing so well. And so for being as young as he is, I'm very surprised with how well he's doing. Unfortunately, he was also part of the I Need You group for the BTS test, so not very good praise in the final outcome. However, I still think he's a very strong candidate and could end up in the final 7 debut, but I don't know. I really like them both, so it was hard for me to choose one over the other. But like, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it might be Jay. And I could be wrong. Like, Daniel could very well make it into the final 7, and I just got wrong with one of these. I don't know. But Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna stick with my gut. I'm gonna go with J. All right, so my final lineup is Heesung, K, Jungwon, Sonu, Sunghoon, Jake, and Jay. I feel pretty solid on this. I see room for potential error, and I will do a video after like the final like episode of Island, and we know who debuts, so I can talk about like what I got wrong or what I got right or whatever. And so I can just talk about the show in general because I really like the show and like I have thoughts. So yeah, I need to make it known though that my favorite member of Island is Taki. I love this kid so much. Like literally he is so adorable. I feel the need to protect him at all times. I'm pretty sure I'm older than him, so yeah, anyway, the moment I saw him and like he came out with like this big old backpack, he's this short dude with like this big colorful jacket and like a baby face, and like everyone was giggling and stuff. I was like, that is the underdog. I need to protect him. My instinct is to always go for the underdog in situations like this. And I feel like Taki is. As much as I love him, he has been very inconsistent throughout the entirety of Island. And I don't know if he is up to par with the other trainees. And I don't know if in the short amount of time we have left, he'll be able to work his way up to the final 7 to debut. I really hate saying that because I want him to succeed so bad. I just don't know if it's his time yet. So I could be wrong. He could very well surprise us all, blow us all away, and make it into the final 7. But realistically speaking, I don't think he will. And that's sad because he's a really great kid. I still am very angry that there hasn't really been any chance for potential rappers to shine in like any of the tests that the trainees have gone through. Especially, I thought that maybe we could see rapper Taki in Fake Love, but they didn't include any of the rap verses, and I was so mad about that. I was like, yeah, singing is important, but hello, rappers? Like, I feel like no rapper has gotten a chance to shine in this, so are none of them rappers? I have no idea. I digress. To summarize, once again, final 7, Heesung, K, Jungwon, Sonu, Sunghoon, Jake, and Jay. That's what I'm putting out there. I'm not putting money on it. I'm just putting it out into the universe. We'll see how it goes. Keep watching Island. Keep supporting the members. Make sure if you're voting that you are voting not only for people you like, but people who you genuinely feel like deserve it. Yeah, that's all I have. Thanks for watching this episode on kpop.com. I'm Tay. Borahe.